Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the second series of the day. It's the winner bracket semi-final number 2. This boy in the second most important match of his career, it's romantic. And what a tournament he has played so far. In a group with Foggy, Focus and Remind, he was the one prevailing against the Koreans after losing to Foggy in the winner bracket. This is 1-2-0. He wasn't too impressive yet. Losing to Infi 2-0, then Colorful was there was like no chance to him. He beat Orkwalker 2-0 as well, beat Life, but Life brought him closer to a defeat than everybody was expecting. So this is not the dominant undead machine that we know from GCS last year. He's struggling way more than usual. Is this more his day? Is this the day where he goes into the winner bracket final without a problem? I think he's the big favorite against this guy. Both very young. We see the map picks here. Terranar Stand out, Ancient Isle out. Of course, Romantic doesn't want to play AI, and no Terranars for 1-0. That means Amazonia is still in. Turtle Rock, also not a great human map, but Last Refuge and Echo Isles. Last Refuge basically a 50-50 map, I think, but Echo Isles would be a great map for Romantic. Sorry, I have to get him out of my brain now somehow. You vote for 1-0, and I would do the same if I were you. We will go through the player stats in a bit once the Chinese stream is starting this game. The game starts now. We start on Twisted. And 1-0 lost against Infi very fast here. I wonder if we can repeat this or not. I think since we are a little behind schedule, they will do it a little faster here now, like smaller break. And we will grant Remo that break, of course. That was very exhausting cast, the Foggy series. So, Romantic beat TH. That was a human mirror. He's great at human mirror. He had great ideas how to play that human mirror. And he had a bit of time to prepare for 1-0. But the stats don't look that good for him. We see the players in an interview. Fortunately, I can't translate for you guys. So far, there was only one game that Romantic was able to win from 1-0. No, that is Infi. Sorry. Don't have this. No. One game these guys played at each other, and that was GCS Fall Qualifier number 2, winner bracket final in the group stages, and that was won by 1-0, 2-0, so not too many statistics here for that game, but 1-0 is 58% versus the human race in 83 matches. Romantics on that matchup, not that great, basically 50-50. He has a positive statistic versus TH, and he was a little, for me he was the underdog, but the dark horse here, but not against 1-0. Can he follow Infi into the winner bracket final to get the rematch from GCS number 1 final or not? Romantic is the underdog, both 21 years old, I think. Doesn't say it here, but whatever. Romantic is the big underdog, and 1-0 is the big favorite. But everything can happen at GCS. Foggy showed us that everything is possible. And we will go into the map as Remo is back as well.
Hello guys, just went for a quick bite and we're right back here with the next match. The Warcraft action continues on this beautiful Monday. Gonna have DK fast and later on Fiends, and I imagine a quick build for the AM. Gonna be going for that laboratory fast. 1-0 looking for the harass possibility. If he is close to the laboratory, then harassment can be very effective, but he's not gonna be as lucky. Of course, there's gonna be an expansion map. How easy of an expansion is this gonna be? How many peasants will die? How much experience will be denied? How quick will there be level 3 on the AM?
Romantic's base is open, I think, here. There's no Arcane Tower, so definitely a chance for 1-0 to harass this after the creep, if he goes for it. It's a long way, though. Definitely a possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the Archmage Rush, You have to delay your Arcane Tower for a long time. The Watch Elemental getting ensnared here is not the best. He's going to take quite a bit of damage on his peasants, finding Ruined Bracers. That's a very nice start for Romantic. If the DK comes in here for harass because the Watch Elemental wasn't able to tank all that damage, he might be able to find quite a few kills here onto these peasants.
And here it is. Baron Morte coming for the kill. He does have coil level 1, of course, but here comes the peasant. One of them is hurt. The second one, he would need a corpse for skeletons. And here it is. And here is the Rod of Necromancy used. And as I said, no Arcane Tower. Second kill with that skeleton.
Should be easy 3 peasant kills. If the undead comes with a harass, you expect to at least lose 2. But you don't want to lose too many more. Oh.
Nice
Actually
save.
saves that one. Well done. And of course, you don't only have to consider kills in the early game in this matchup, also how much damage did the DK take, because there is no way for him to regen up until he has statues. Or maybe if he's standing on Blight, but he won't really be doing that. He killed another peasant here with that one skeleton, so now we're up to 3 kills on the Death Knight.
Okay. Wait, where did he kill that peasant? That was a pig.
So what? Yeah, he was killing the pig, or what do you mean?
Yeah, so it's 2, right? 2.
No, he killed one more in the main with a solo skeleton.
Okay, I didn't see that.
There was one very low hurt.
So, of course, Romantic has to expand at some point. His Archmage cannot be pressured. DK is down to 50% so far. Romantic has done a good way of pressuring him, but the Rod of Necromancy is down to only 1 charge. Will he go into the main malicious support? Is coming in now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's more than usual.
Yeah, doesn't want to be forced into a late expansion here. The Fiend is coming from the main with new Rods of Necromancy. And we already have 1 Acolyte standing at the expansion, waking up the creeps early. That's not ideal for Romantic, and there we go. He is still arriving here in the conga line. The footies can't help yet. This is a lot of damage going the human's way.
DK, how much mana does he have? Lots of coils. It's going to be a lot of kills on his side. Can he get the Water Elemental? Oh, he's going for the Troll, actually, to delay the level 3 on the Archmage. But this did so much damage on the DK. He stays in there. Rod of Necromancy have been transferred over. Ring of Protection +3 for Romantic.
2 more kills are needed for the level up of the DK. Is he going to get the Trapper here? Yes, he will. 1 more steal is required, or maybe a peasant kill.
He got one. He's super close now. 4 XP away. And the Ogre Warrior goes towards Romantic, who is also super close to level 3. There it goes. Kills the skeleton and gets every single creep here except the ones that were coiled. So I think this expo is delayed. Like 5 minutes in, he starts doing it. And there is a tier 2 done. But the early game was fairly good for him. I mean, basically every single footman remained alive. Archmage got to level 3. Items are decent. I mean, the ring is bad, but the rune braces are awesome. DK only finding level 2 now, with 0 items in the entire game, and only 3 charges remaining. Lich is coming though.
As well as the Slaughterhouse, of course, and then Attack is going to be following up after. Usually, I think the Asian Night Elves, Undeads, excuse me, go for 4 Fiends and tech only then. Want to have a strong force early on. Some other Undeads, like Happy, sometimes go for only 3 Fiends, quick tech, and a fast second Slaughterhouse. That was, of course, all the rage back in, when was it, 2010 maybe? The big Destroyer push. The Chinese don't do that so much anymore, though. And the AM now, with the Boots of Speed, is going to be very mobile, going to be very annoying for the Undead to deal with. And what the human wants to do is drive the Undead back with the Archmage and with defense footies and get safety up to not lose any towers back at his bases.
Like Romantic's play here, he spreads the damage onto both Fiends. There's only 1 coil, now onto all 3 Fiends. And he has to decide at some point, which Fiend do I want to coil and which Fiends do I want to send back. A few footmen more coming in, and this Fiend is sent back, the other one as well. But 1-0 is under more pressure than I thought he would be.
And so many footies walking towards the main now. 7 are, however, now turning around.
Yeah, Lich is coming.
Yeah, but tech should soon be starting, and yeah, they're gonna engage once again. Lich is coming with a Rod of Necromancy, no healing potion or mana potion, and everything here is pretty damn injured. Imagine an MK right now, he would have the day of his life. But of course, MK is far away. Last hit goes towards the AM. He steals it from the undead.
Usually 1-2-0 is the best last hitter in the game with Acolyte Skeletons, doesn't matter.
And the footy's perfect timing. The tech had just started.
He has to cancel it and he goes towards the Acolytes now. How much damage can he do? Is the Archmage coming in as well? I think he's looking for a staff. Yes, he does. And the Expo is up. There's a shop. There's an Arcane Tower. So only Skeletons can't hurt this. And there's an Arcane Tower in the base as well. Great timing for the underdog.
And 3 of those fiends so damn injured. A statue is coming in now. It's gonna be so valuable. And what you oftentimes see the undeads do, DK harasses by himself, defends, excuse me, by himself, whereas the Lich and fiends are aggressive. But the TP home is coming now. These fiends, can they get away to safety? Of course, very far forward with the TP, wants to get a few kills here, and the first one will be found. And the Archmage with the boots might even be able to get more.
Well, the Decay is far away. He's coming in from the right now, though. But Nova hitting all the footmen. Great one. Is the damage enough? No, Coil is there. All right.
And it's starting to be a little late here as far as tech goes. Romantic is still only on tier 1, and the tech should really start soon. He has Shredder, but the Shredder wasn't doing anything for a little while there at the expansion. So a Lumber will be coming in. All right, and there we go. He is now finally on his way to tier 2.
Defend is there.
Considering that he also delayed the undead tech, I guess it's not too bad.
That's true. Also just saw that tech maybe 1/3 done now. Even saves this footman. Defend does a good job, but he constantly kills the towers in the main. Here comes the Archmage again with fresh mana. 2 more Water Elementals can be summoned here. No Dispels, it says no Destroyer. Call Nova also very, very weak on level 1. DK back again down to 50%. And so many footmen with the defend. It's so strong, so much sustain and damage reflection.
Gonna get one footy kill here, but that's totally fine by Romantic. These footies are almost meant to die. Their purpose is to buy time. And if that is done by their demise, then that's totally fine.
First Masonry upgrade is done. You know how much we love this upgrade as undeads. Nova hits again, but Lich is out of mana. So is the DK, only 1 coil remaining, but he gets a few more experience points with his Water Elemental. But Romantic has saved a lot and denies that Water Elemental even. Really good play.
Man, Romantic keeps on impressing. Yesterday 2-0 against TH, which no one was expecting, and now he's in a good position in this mid-game stage against 1-2-0. Towers are coming up in the back. Archmage never in trouble. This DK is still not level 3.
It's really late. 9 minutes, almost 10 minutes into the game. More right clicks into the DK. This is not supposed to be happening. Obsidian Statue does a good job, but from how much longer? Lich level 1.6 uses the coil offensively this time because all the fiends are healthy. So he can't afford it.
And he's gonna get a few more footy kills. Is this finally level 3? No, not quite. He's gonna need quite a few more.
Maybe he loses too many footmen now. The pendulum is swinging into the undead's direction. There comes the blacksmith, the second blacksmith. Oh no, the first one was a lumber mill here, sorry about that. More footmen, tier 2 tech is almost done, and then we're gonna see breakers most likely. Can't imagine an immediate tier 3 tech. On the other side, 1-2-0 with the tier 3 ready and the destroyer upgrade coming up. This will be the key point in this matchup. There are 4 towers in the main and 4 towers at the expansion.
And he easily has the resources to go for more. I'm surprised he is stopping it only for Paladin second, by the way. With this, we oftentimes see Blizzard as defensive mechanism and Paladin then helping out with the heals. Finally, level 3 for the Death Knight. But this base that you mentioned in the beginning isn't walled off. Suddenly he's taking a hell of a beating from only fiends. Coming in for the repair here. And with Masonry, it's a little harder, but it's only level 1 Masonry.
Destroyer upgrade, ready. Level 2 coil, online. Archmage continues to creep here. Has a staff though, doesn't want to defend at home. Paladin will be coming out, there shouldn't be enough damage. Or is it? The piercing damage of course against buildings doesn't work that well. Arcane Sanctum coming. No rifleman or anything. Here's the repair, immediate tier 3 as well.
You could surround the Paladin here, or very quick realization. Is he actually going to go for Divine Shield? No, that would be silly. Going for Holy Light, doing as much damage as he can before finally falling. More experience going the undead's way. But the gold mining isn't interrupted. He's just losing a few peasants here and there. I guess that costs some gold. And yeah, here we go. Blizzard, very standard. Along with a Paladin second, and suddenly attacking this is very difficult with all these fiends.
Archmage can staff only so many times because there is a cooldown, and 1-0 of course has another point of attack. This is the expansion, but there's a nice blacksmith up front. Will the towers reach though? He's trying to go for the shop, I think. One destroyer in the air though now.
For scouting mostly. Of course there's no more water elementals to worry about. And Arcane Vault, who now has Masonry level 2, will be taken out. But yeah, good point by you brought up. The AM can now only difficultly hide behind the towers. He could maybe run past all these undead units, but then he's probably gonna eat a Coil Nova.
Lich level 2.3 now. DK also with almost without items. Can he really afford to throw the coils onto the Archmage with Rune Braces? Does it really have so much effect? I doubt it. It would be a waste of mana in my opinion. Romantic keeps the Arcane Vault alive to get a few more breakers. This is kind of the Achilles heel for Romantic right now. If this Arcane Vault falls, then the breakers won't come up, and then you have almost nothing against the Fiends except the Blizzard, which is doing a fine job so far.
He's going tier 3 though. Is in fact very close to having reached tier 3. Only about 25% left, and then it's going to be time for Knights and the third hero. And the Paladin, he's feeling so safe, he's creeping up in the meantime. He's even being scouted by a destroyer. Destroyers are good against footies, but only one. It's going to take a while to take out all those footmen.
Griffin Aviary for Dragonhawk. Thrill of Accuracy. Nice item for the Air Army and Water Elementals. Ah, Water Elementals are not there anymore, sorry. But of course we will see Knights as well. So for them it's not that great, but you need damage against the upcoming destroyers, so the Flute is fine. Dark Ranger third. No Blizzard anymore for quite a bit of time.
Taking out the altar first. That's actually a nice pick off here, because that delays the third hero by a lot. Oh, but the Blizzard doing so much damage. Jesus Christ.
Heal Scroll being used already. And Night Start.
And only a single meat wagon here for the undead. Already taking quite a bit of damage on it. The army leaves the meat wagon to fend for itself.
Oh, a Water Elemental would be so sweet. But of course Blizzard saved his ass before. Paladin again exposed, maybe. Wow, he hits the entire army with his Blizzard play.
And now Paladin can be really annoying. Walking in with Divine Shield and invulnerable, able to pick off one fiend here. Maybe even a second one. Close to 100 HP threshold is that one in the back. But also doesn't want to die now. He's level 2, is going to be much more painful this time. MK coming third. Now, Rock Golem being stolen by the undead. It is a Scroll of the Beast. Can be good. But also we have a couple of breakers in this army for Romantic now.
Still not too many towers on Romantic side, so it might be able to break it. What's his reaction now? He's in his base, he's waiting, he has 2 breakers, 1 knight, already griffins. That's of course super amazing to take out statues and the aforementioned meat wagons. Shouldn't lose the blacksmith though, and it says no knights.
There flies the Coil Nova to the AM, maybe for the first time this game, but yeah. With the Rune Bracers that you were pointing out, the damage really isn't all that scary. And maybe he takes out the blacksmith, but he's not getting close to taking out these towers. He's not getting close to taking out these main buildings. Oh, the Paladin, Coil Nova. He doesn't have Divine Shield, but he does have a shop to use a healing potion, holding on to it for a very long time. But in the end here,
double shop,
pick it
I
up.
didn't see that. So he made sure that he could get breakers.
Alright, Blacksmith gone now. He's gonna have to remake that. 64 supply for the humans, 60 for the undead, with a lot of resources to spend, however. In the main we have just more fiends and statues all the time. The same. 2-0 upgrades are gonna be finishing up very soon for 1-2-0 as well. And now he has somewhat opened the way here for the attack on the expansion, but the TP in is coming. Seems like Romantic finally feels strong enough to fight. Or does he? Very defensive town portal.
Still, he does have a good army. 64 food against 66 though, not too much. But if the Griffins can take out the meat wagon, he has to keep his expansion alive. What is he doing? Why is he waiting so long? What's he waiting for? Militias are coming, but they're just feeding, I guess, and distracting a little. He's moving out now. Stormbolt comes in, and here are the Knights and Griffins. Have fun, Fiends. And the Militia did a good job distracting there. There's no anti-air though against the Destroyer, but he doesn't have mana anyway. Shredder is fighting with him. Silence on the entire human army, but the Lich is in trouble. If he gets rid of the Orb of Corruption, he almost wins that fight, but the Coil was there. Clutch Coil.
Just barely in time. Scroll of the Beast now being used, but there are breakers. They can start stealing this. And the Blizzard from the back dealing a lot of damage. Of course, he's going to have to kite against this. Still 65 supply for the Undead. And of course, his heroes are strong. The Paladin is not. He has to use a Divine Shield here to stay alive with. The Fiends, though, once they get attacked by all this normal damage, they die quickly. Finished off with a bolt right there and keeps, at the same time, his Knight alive with the help of the Holy Light.
There are 4 Fiends remaining. He got rid of all the Griffins. Wow, that was a big pickup. 62 supply only for Romantic. Looks like 1-0 will be able to break this, but the Meat Wagon is also down, and that makes it a lot harder to fight against the buildings. Lich is once again down to 50%.
And the mana's low. DK with only 1 coil available. Lich, no Nova at the moment. However, these human heroes, only level 1 MK, only level 2 Paladin. AM is not level 5 yet.
Staff is on cooldown. He has 1 only. 500 gold for him. Silence on the Archmage, but no Coil Nova follow-up.
So much mana on the AM. He can just spam Blizzard for days unless he gets silenced.
Can he get this another farm killed? He's not rebuilding them. 3 units in the base. It's a lot of supply he can't use.
And it's really hard to connect these 2 armies that are isolated from each other.
Maybe with a town portal now. Does he have one? Did he buy one? No. Another Griffin here, so he has 2 Griffins left. Ooh, this unit must be saved. Yeah, he does. He needs a TP. 350 gold.
He's moving out to the north. Does he want to get involves or something? He's going to start losing towers here. He might start losing some units as well. But 1-0 doesn't want to commit too hard. And he actually goes creeping during this siege without a teleport.
That's really risky. I mean, the Lumber Mill buys time. He does have 3 Masonry upgrades. He doesn't need the Lumber Mill anymore at that point.
Alright, and now these heroes for the human will finally get some good levels. And the Troll Warlord will grant them some sometimes good, sometimes bad items here. The ring, not what they wanted.
Infy had the same item in this position. No one to the workers. So finally he denies the mining in the main. So it's 1 base versus 1 base now.
Alright.
So many kills. I think he's overpowering him now. 3 destroyers in the air.
And this is so dangerous. He left there without a TP. I think he has one now. The AM did buy one, but he wants to creep another camp. Level 3 on his Paladin has been achieved. The MK, though, is still the liability. There's 2 Knights and a Griffin in the main, still waiting for their reinforcements, but however, only 66 supply for the human, against 69 for the Undead, who can hold on against this expansion this entire time without having one himself.
The main gold mine for 1-0 will expire soon, though. And the castle, yeah, it stands for a long time, and I think it's a nice move of Romantic to free up this expansion, as he knew that his own main would be empty soon. So he does have the opportunity to get another keep up, another town hall up.
Is he really gonna let this castle go, though? That means no more Knights, no more Griffins for a very long time.
That's true, he can still go for breakers, I think, but only 1 Sanctum that is also in the base. He goes double Workshop. Is it tank time?
Well, for that he also needs tier 3.
Do that.
And soon that's gonna be gone. Now he's gonna decide to defend back at home. How offensive is TP gonna be? Pretty neutral. Oh my god! That's so small of an army! Seems like everything else is missing. Staff out there, mass silence onto MK and Paladin, but he uses the invul, gets out of there. And now moving forward with these Knights. Also Bloodlust in this human army. Blizzard raining in, but not too well. Not onto the Fiends, where it's supposed to be. One of the Knights here getting healed up again. The Dark Ranger dies. Coil arrives just a millisecond too late. And now the Blizzard hits really well. Kiting back has to be done by 1-0 once more.
Very interesting, very rare mistake by 1-0 to throw the coil that night. Here comes the Stormbolt of the Lich. There's the coil this time. A lot earlier, but can he kill him? If the Lich is gone, the game is gone! Town Portal swap, though, with 13 HP. Gets another feed. Trades it for a Knight, though. But Romantic stays alive. The castle stays alive. And he's still mining. 1-0 sells the Haunted Gold Mine. No income for the Undead.
Man, Romantic knows exactly how far he can let 1-0 push.
This decision making is really good.
Gives up towers, gives up peasants, all fine. He can still find space elsewhere on the map, keep on creeping, and finally get good heroes. He is now at 4-3-3, and the AM is very close to 5, and then the Blizzard damage is really ridiculous. We have a counter expansion coming up for 1-0, but he's gonna be without income for a very long time.
True that. 70 supply versus 50 though. Romantic has almost no army. The heroes will carry him for a bit. Again, a very, very close and tight game. We don't see the reason for the double workshop yet, right? Not a single unit. Reveal, he's looking for the expansion. Did he scout for the bottom one as well?
Forces are under attack.
I don't think he did.
Staff of Silence for Romantic.
Magnificent item, of course. There are a few destroyers against us, but still, if you time it perfectly, it's almost impossible to dispel in time. Destroyers now scout this. By the way, 3-0 upgrades for the undead side. For the human, we have only 1-0, or 2-0 rather, on the griffins.
The air for the undead can do whatever he wants. This might be a forced town portal. If he's not moving fast enough, he wants to creep this. Wow, it's gonna be a backstep for sure. Town portal on Romantic side is there. It has Blizzard, yeah, but it doesn't affect the rock golem. This is the town portal, and I think there was no other choice. Can he get the griffin? No.
But now he
He
kind
can
of
push this. I mean, he can push the expo now. The 1-0 is so far away.
Did he see it though?
Oh no, he doesn't. Or if he sees the replay and realizes this.
Yeah. Rebuy a TP. He could have cancelled the expo there, killed probably all of the acolytes. But now the... Oh no, the necropolis is going to take a while. And the undead doesn't even have a TP, so this would have been an easy cancel.
That is maybe a mistake that decides the game. He scanned for the upper right, he did not scan for the lower right. So he does not expect 1-0 to be there. More creeping, sends the Archmage away as he is already level 5, level 4 on the Paladin, and the Mountain King level 3.6 as well. Very tanky again. Rune Braces swapped over, plus 7 armor.
And
with
evasion.
Devotion Aura.
Devotion. He didn't skill it though, right?
No,
he
has
found
the
it.
Light of
Oh,
Stone
okay.
one. I was wondering the same. Invo potion, heal potion. He knows the heroes are the key to victory. Skeletons scout the main. See more griffins there. The main goal might still not down on second expansion for 1-0.
The undead might be soon ahead of the human in expansions. This is not the way it's supposed to go. But somehow Romantic is losing these fights here in the very late game.
No panda, of course, on the undead side, so flying machines, gyrocopters will do a phenomenal job.
Yeah, that's true. How many? Oh, we have a whole bunch of them. That's going to be like a squad of gyros. If they all engage at the same time, they will definitely win the air battle. Or can he kite well enough? But there's not enough web, I don't think, to go around. He's trying to. But the griffins come in from the back as well. There's so much dangerous stuff to deal with. Dark Rage in the front. Light almost dies instantly. Where is the coil? Where was the coil? I guess he used it on a fiend, but that was a big mistake, not realizing how far forward his third hero was. And now, massive damage going on the chase.
Going for the Lich, has an Invo, but holy light damage! Is there a Stormbolt? Wow! Invo potion and coil at the same time, really well done. The Destroyers are still alive, level 5 on the decay. Another Destroyer down. Romantic is pushing forward, 61 versus 68. He's losing a bit of the gyros, but he can easily replace it. They cost basically nothing. Lich caught out of position, coil again, but there's another Stormbolt. Can he hold on? There's no Invo potion anymore. Blizzard raining from above, another fiend is down. He retreats to his main base, never fighting an undead base, but Romantic looking so strong. Is there another Stormbolt for the Lich? No, it goes onto the DK. No, there is a TP. No, Invul doesn't want to do it. Throws another coil. Here comes an Abomination. Can he take him out with the 3 Griffins? It should be easy. Boom! You see the Storm Hammers falling.
Way too much damage here. The DK in trouble as well. He has a TP. There's no death pack, by the way, on the first hero for the undead. Blizzard raining in again. That Blizzard took out a lot of his own gyros, actually. But this late game human army, once again, strong heroes. And also Griffin riders in this army. But now, undead moving forward.
His death is delayed. But Romantic putting on an amazing fight. There is still a lot of mana on the Paladin, on the Mountain King, on the Archmage. Staff of Silence doing a good job. Evacuation of the Acolyte. Exodus time. And can he fight there? There is Blight, better regeneration for the Undead, but maybe he will provide him that. Stormbolt again. 3 gloves of haste, by the way, on that Lich. Sick. Bolt, silence.
Removes it though with 1 destroyer he still has. The other ones were all lost. He has 1, however, still. By the way, no knights coming in. I think, yeah, because he has no blacksmith. He could have remade that, but he didn't. 2 fiends in the front lines tanking severe damage. Also the MK, but he's such a monster tank with all these items he has. Finds 1 more kill with the Stormbolt now, though he's out of mana. Of course, he's gonna regen up pretty quickly. But for the time being, there's no Stormbolt coming. Dark Ranger is back now. She died very quickly.
Shredder is killing the expansion down there. In the upper left, there's only 1 Acolyte, so this Haunted Gold Mine is gone.
The big Shredder damage coming in again. And yeah, it's gone. But there's a new one. And once again, does the human know about it? Very early Divine Shield on this Paladin. It's gonna last 30 seconds though, so... Level 5 on the Lich, yeah.
Coil Nova level 3. But the Mountain King is, I think, unkillable with this inventory. Plus 11. And the Paladin has his Divine Shield. The cooldown is not that high.
The AM though is really squishy. Look at him. 650 only.
Yeah, right?
He needs an invul super bad, but the DK gets it.
That was a really important pick. He does have 1 on the Paladin, so he can give him over. There's also a potion of healing on the Mountain King, so yeah, hands it over right now. More creeping. He doesn't get experience anymore. Only for the Dark Ranger, but she's not... Oh, there she is, but only level 3. The items can be great, though. Pendant of Energy on the DK as well, plus Devotion Aura, so that's equalized. Romantic with an expansion in the lower left, but it took a lot of time. He prioritized the towers very much, and he's down to 0 income at the moment.
Oh, wow. Is he gonna have the time for this expansion? The Gyros now scout the Expo for the Undead. In the top. Is this gonna be a game where neither of the players has income? Looks like it, kind of, in the middle. The humans on the chase, but the undead army is so fast he can't catch up. Level 2 aura, of course. And this looks like I'm gonna be down to 0 income for both.
Yeah, militia, peasants getting slaughtered. 4 towers, they were there. They have level 3 masonry, but that doesn't matter anymore, as you can kill them quite easily. But on the other side, this is so fast. He wipes them out, he sells it, gets a little bit of gold back, but again, more experience for Romantic. No income for neither player.
Alright, this is like serious late game. No income.
Romantic
almost
can
no
flare as well,
resources
so he
to work
can
with.
try to go for a new one. In the upper left, maybe. Oh, 120 has the money as well, and he goes back to the bottom right, but there's a gyrocopter on the cliff scouting this.
Where do we go from here?
There's not even
very unusual game.
much to creep. I mean, there's this mercenary camp in the bottom, but
Oh.
that's it. The entire mainland is crap.
2 armies in the middle. This would be a good flank for the human. Finding the statues quickly, and the focus fire. Boom! Insta-gib. Here comes the bolt onto the Lich. There is Invul. He's also pretty tanky. Double silence. That's very good. But Invul on the Paladin to get rid of the silence. MK in the front lines. Tanking the focus fire. But he's too tanky. Going for the Griffins now. The first one's dead. So is the Fiend. Dark Ranger hitting level 4. These Griffins and Fiends both feeling the pain. And I think it's going to be pretty even. Only now the Blizzard comes out very, very late. And it's an even trade here, it looks like, for the time being. Lich maybe getting focused, but again, nice double silence. Now the Archmage in trouble. He might be able to force a TP out at the very last second.
Oh, the silence on the Mountain King was so good, otherwise the Lich would have been dead. Holy cow, loses another Griffin. Romantic down to no upkeep, which doesn't matter because he has no gold income. 120 is close though, and he's not going for the expansion again. 2 Griffins here, the one is out of the group. Okay, he realizes it now. The one is getting healed and therefore can't move, and he cancels the expansion again.
And who does this favor this late game? The human, of course, can always mana up with his aura, but the undead has 2 statues.
Yeah, question is for how long. He sniped 1, and he can sell more stuff. His buildings, etc., etc. His inventory, though, not that great. He pimped this Lich with a belt of giant strength because he knows how crucial this item is for the rest. And now he was waited. Yeah, he waited for the haunted gold mine to be finished and knocks on his door now. 2 Griffins should take this out easily, but 120 wants to defend this.
How good's the silence gonna be? If
No
he hits a
TP.
3-hero silence, that's crazy. No silence yet. There we go. 2 hero silence. The MK can do something, but not the AM. He can't get healed because the Paladin doesn't have heal Holy Light at the moment available. Trying to save him, trying to run back. Is he going to be able to kill him? Yes, he will. Coil finishes off the first hero. Lich in trouble as well. Has the invul, however. Is he going to use it? Doesn't even need to. Oh my god, he dodges the bolt at the very last second. Double silence again. Going for the Paladin now. The easier kill. Not as tanky. And I think this is the next hero kill. Coil Nova finishes it in style. And that's the GG. And 1-2-0 takes map number 1.
Again, just like against Life in the quarterfinals, struggling so hard, but the control and decision making in the final fight, man, was unbelievably great. The coils at the right timing, the silences in the perfect moment, saving the Lich there. Like, I really would love to see a replay now with slower speed, how close it was until the hammer arrived at the Lich. That was as close as it gets.
Yeah. Especially those silences, man. Really impressed me. And in the late game stage, when your Paladin gets silence and then your AM is going up against 5-5 undead heroes with only 650 HP, he's not gonna be alive for long. But what a cool game, man. Yeah. No gold income for either of the players. Every unit counts so much.
Undead versus human at its absolute best. Doesn't get much better than this in this matchup.
So now Romantic being down a map, it's gonna be his map choice. I wonder what he goes for here.
Oh, there is Echo's left.
Echo's pretty good, yeah. Terranas most likely vetoed. Everything else would be a big surprise.
What else was there? I mean, Ancient Isles is banned as well, so Turtle Rock, he won't use that. Twisted Meadows was the starting map, Echo Isles is left, and Last Refuge. So pretty much...
should be between Echo and LR.
Yeah, I don't think LR. It's also good for Undead. I think Echo, no-brainer.
No surprise here. On Echo though, he might be forced to finish off the game a little earlier. Here we take a look at the bracket again. Infi is already waiting for the winner of this match in the winner bracket final.
It's definitely going to be a rematch, either of GCS Finals number 1 or WCA Qualifier number 2 of 2016. But we focus on this series first, of course. I'd like to see the players again, but they're not going for it right now. So we have a bit of time to thank our new subscribers. Thank you, Arekam, Bliss. Oh no, he was the donator. FFA Masters League for 4 months, and Aiden Rendinho for 4 months as well. Bible Thumb, Shanghai Hype. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it as much as we do.
Top Warcraft action. We're down to the best 6 players of the world.
We'll cut down to 4 today.
By the end of the day, we'll be down to only 4 exactly. And then tomorrow on our last day, we're going to be crowning a champion. Who's going to be following in 120's footsteps? Or is it actually the Undead himself? He's still in the running.
Winning this back-to-back would be a phenomenal story for 120.
Has a tough time ahead of him this year around, though. Infi is going to be waiting for him in the upper bracket. Yes. In the lower bracket, more humans to possibly face. Foggy also.
Brought him super close to a defeat last time already in the winner bracket quarterfinal. Was a 2-1 there. And Foggy has a very, very good Night Elf Undead, so I wouldn't be too surprised. I would be surprised if he takes that, but I don't think it's unwinnable.
No. And neither is this unwinnable for Romantic. A better map now in Echo Isles. Maybe not in the super late game. Getting good Paladin and MK here is really hard, but maybe just a whole bunch of Knights and Griffins is enough. Speaking of Knights, he never got the Blacksmith again.
Nope.
And he never got the Knights again.
Nope.
I think that was a big mistake. But 120. Hanging on there for such a long time. And once again showing us how marvelously great he is.
More than 100 unit kills. 97 for Romantic. went back and forth and back and forth. If this Mountain King or Pala goes to level 5, I think it's a very different game. Lich on level 5 with a Nova was a key because then he had finally the firepower to nuke the heroes in the final fight. Boom, 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 double kill immediately. If a hero falls in the series, it's usually over.
Yeah, and that's another thing about the Dark Ranger is really good with the clutch silence, but later on in the fight, if she's gone, of course it's bad, but it's not like as crucial of a part as an MK or a Paladin.
Speaking of silence, did Romantic use his staff?
I think twice maybe.
Okay.
But 1-0 was pretty fast with the dispels. He had a few destroyers for the most part for the longest time of this series, this game. Excuse me. We are now going into map number 2. Echo. This is the loser's choice, of course. This, by the way, is a really good MK map.
True that.
But is he really an MK player?
I don't know. Don't know this matchup of Romantic too much. I think he loves the Archmage. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen him play something else than an Archmage in any matchup.
Yeah, that sounds like him. And there is the best undead in the world, the only undead left in this tournament. WFZ didn't make it through the group stage despite looking pretty damn good in some of those games. In others, however, he seemed to choke. 1-0. Not a player to choke. He may have lost to Infi earlier in the group stage, but that was just Infi on fire. Infi, who's still on fire, who is waiting for him in the next round, should he win this. I wonder what he has to say here. He told me that he only practices 2 hours a day, which I am very jealous of. Can't believe someone is that good. Maybe he's not exactly telling the truth, though.
Yeah, but he shows flaws. When he won GCS last time, I don't think we saw a single coil that was too late. Like, that was undead perfection there. Still, it was hard against Lin twice, but... Alright. We go in-game.
So, Romantic. His map choice, gonna be fast expansion. Question is, what's the hero gonna be? MK certainly possible here. Expansion is very easy to take, much more so than it is on Twisted Meadows. You don't get such a quick level 2 head start as you do on Twisted, of course. But you can go for a super early expo. You can even go for an instant expo. That's not really the meta, but you can mix it up a little like that.
Okay, here's the game for you guys out there. In the upper left, we have Romantic in blue. In the bottom, in the upper right, we have Infi. Not, but 1-2-0. Sorry, I'm a little confused by the tool not working.
We're gonna have a fast DK late fiend build order as well. As always, we have seen WZ switching this up slightly when he goes up against an MK, going for more ghouls early to pressure more, and the first hero for the human is the MK. Not the MK, excuse me.
Nicht! Now we switch to German or what? Jawohl, Foki!
No, it's gonna be the old wizard on the horse, the classic matchup.
Yeah, this is as standard as it gets. DK Archmage, TD build order, shop. Okay. Question is, what's his creep route? Green spots first, mercenary camp first, or immediate expansion? That's, I think, the 3 possibilities. Against neither of Romantic likes to go for the green spot, get the item, and then harass a lot. There's not too much he can harass this time, because 1-2-0 immediately heads over, just like on Twisted, and he decides to go for the Ogre Warrior.
I really like the footy scout here, seeing where the DK is immediately. The response to this is the narrow tower. Also, you know, forces 100 gold out of the under that he might not be otherwise be spending. Is he gonna be in time here to steal one of the last hits? Seems that way. At least he's gonna be getting a little bit of time out of the human. He's not using the rod yet, and actually uses a coil on the water elemental. So it looks like he wants to hold on to this rod of necromancy for a long time. Could have absolutely used it, despite the fact that he does have backpack. Interesting.
Oh, already? It's pretty early. Alright. Yeah, we see it here on the ghouls. Tier 2 tech has started almost as fast as it gets, with no fiend No fiend in production, only one cigarette. This is the key at the moment, attacking as fast as possible. But he catches a few good hits there, but he gets the second green spot as well. This expansion will again be a little late for Romantic. And that's why he's saving the rods for.
And Romantic's doing a very good job, not giving him any opening. He doesn't give him any creep blast hits, doesn't give him any peasant kills. Yeah, he lost a water elemental, but... well.
He denied the second water elemental though, so your point stands.
And yeah, the right clicks on the DK are a big deal, down to below 400 now. And yeah, park 1 or 2 footies on the DK if he comes in range, attack him with the AM as well, because all of these other footies, water elementals and peasants, are easily good enough to defeat these creeps here, which are not that strong, certainly not as strong as they might be on other maps. And he's pulling a second creep camp here. He's taking a lot of damage on the DK. Is this really worth it? DK below 300 HP.
It's really bad. He's so far away from level 2. Yeah, the Murlocs are helping out now. Really cool idea, but they're going back now.
Wow!
The Nightcrawler do poison damage.
Alright. Very creative, very unusual, but I think now they're going back to peaceful times. No, actually, they're moving in again.
They're going wild on the human army. And so it definitely was worth it. Here comes the coil, but too early.
It was very well done by Romantic. They're baiting it. Oh, the DK is not able to steal this one either. He still has barely any experience, only the single water elemental. However, the AM needs to be careful.
Oh, and there are 3 coils for the DK.
Has to buy the boost of speed here, or maybe the tele staff, something.
Fiend is coming with a second set of Rod of Necromancy.
Alright, the Expo was delayed. Everything here has taken a bit of damage, and he has to rush the Arcane Vault because the AM is so low HP. Can he force the TP here, maybe? He's looking for the long-range coil. He doesn't have the vision right now.
Footman will block this.
He's going for peasants instead.
Okay. Expansion is safe for now, but not even started yet. But the situation is cleared for Romantic. There is tier 2 finish though. Lich is coming, Slaughterhouse, then tier 3 tech, as always. I think Twisted was a little better for Romantic as the Fiends were lower. And more Fiends were lower, but still a level 1 DK, only 1 kill. That's not too much, and expansion is coming up now. Not a crazy good harass for 1-2-0, with again a few flaws in his otherwise perfect game.
Yeah, I think it's more impressive by Romantic, like barely giving him any openings. That thing with the Murlocs looked really cool, and it delayed the expo, but he didn't find damage, he didn't find kills, he didn't find experience. Only that 42 from the water elemental at the very start. Now he's gonna creep in the middle, and this gives the human a lot of time to get his expo up, and also to split push across the map if he wants to. He's buying another circlet on the Archmage.
Yeah, right? Interesting.
That's super rare.
No boots, no telestaff or anything. 1 fiend down. Can he this one? Yeah, close to level 2. Scroll of the Beast can be very good against towers.
Finally level 2 for the DK. Crucial, of course.
But only 1 coil. Romantic decides, okay, I will not pressure this. Goes for more towers. And still tier 1. While 1-2-0 is on the way. No, not on the way to tier 3. Waiting for a little bit of gold.
And the footies, they're threatening the base attack. Are they actually gonna commit? Are they actually gonna dive? Maybe that's the reason why 1-2-0 isn't taking yet, knows that the split push is always a possibility. And now he's gonna be walking across aggressively. The statue, is it gonna get surrounded? No, he realizes it and moves it out of the way. And again it's gonna be, oh no, this time it's gonna be the Lich going back home to defend.
Blocked by Romantic. Does he get the statue? Nevertheless, no. Only down to 50%. Militia coming down. Sees that the Fiends are there. Town Portal as well. 350 gold gone. And he is supply stuck as well. Is there another farm coming? No, there's not. Romantic can produce currently. Oh, 1-2-0 is. He is supply stuck. There's his aggro.
DK very low. Is there no boots on the AM, I believe? No, so not easy for him to chase this. Of course, with the human TPing out, he knows that he's safe back at home starting the tech, but The tech is behind the human's tech, who is already halfway to tier 2. That's not super fast, but that's a decent timing. And there's an acolyte moving across the map. He's not seriously gonna necro this up, is he? This is probably just for statue repair. Everything else would be pretty damn crazy.
Yeah, I don't see a skull. I think he would need a skull for that. But Clemento's doing quite a good job with his obsidian statue. But apart from that, the army looks very healthy. Oh, the Lich, a little bit far up front, but he can't afford it since there's no MK. Romantic started the tech though.
This one acolyte repair is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because usually you can chip away at the statues. Of course, they don't heal themselves and can't get coiled. I really like this. It's gonna cost a bit of money here, a bit of gold, but nice addition.
Lich getting some mana burned, also some hits here and there. How far is tier 2? Not that far away. Tier 3 though takes a bit of time.
Good handful of footies, 6, but it's not like a ridiculous number like 9, where he can just A-click and the undead has to retreat. The damage isn't quite so severe. 1-0 lost a lot of fiends to surrounds. This one he will be able to get back to safety, but Romantic has seen that game himself and he wants to get those surrounds. There is, however, Burrow, I believe, and he doesn't have the dust yet. And there we see Burrow, and now we realize, right, dust.
There's some ability of the fiends that he not forgot about, but more pressure. More pressure for fiends. Still 2 coiled, statue there for regen. Archmage got the TP. No dust from him. Nice. Water Elemental chases this statue in the 12 o'clock position.
And seems like it's gonna fall now with the footies coming in. Or at least it's not gonna be helping the undead in the south, where he lost 1 fiend, 2 towers, rare mistake, again 1-0. Not looking invulnerable this tournament. DK is moving back home, trying to defend by himself. Tier 3 is now done. Tomb of Relics, by the way, is very far forward. That will be an easy kill, much like this statue. Is he actually gonna get it away? The AM sleeping there for a moment. So the statue survives.
HP. Oh, nice escape! Very, very nice escape. Another fiend coming. Oh, Archmage diving in. Should he do that? Yeah, he's going for the Acolytes again, but tier 3 is done this time. He can't delay it any further. In the south, the Lich is knocking at the expansion again. He wants the statue so desperately. Moving out 2 Acolytes there, mining a little bit denied. But okay, here comes the normal damage. Repair by 2 Acolytes. Statue has so much value to him.
Oh man, this is expensive. Really expensive. Tier 3, by the way, for the human is already well on its way. And these footies, again, they're doing their job. They're buying time. They're keeping their expansion safe. It's mostly safe. I mean, he has repaired the Arcane Vault, but that's not that much damage, if we're being honest. Finally, the footies are getting repelled. But
and also still no level 3 for the DK. 1-0, one of the craziest players when it comes to creeping with his skeleton tricks here and there. But this game is 11 minutes old and he's still on level 2-1. I mean, very close to the double upgrade, but can't eat skeletons for more mana. That means the peasants can repair as much as they want. They won't be threatened too much. And coil level 2. Destroyer upgrade is finished though.
And with the first destroyer up in the air, still doesn't have a dust. Unfortunately, I could have found a kill. The AM in trouble. There is a TP. I was getting worried there. Isn't in the usual spot. Oh, if that was a level 2 coil, the wizard would be dead.
That's double up. Yeah, that's double level up. And he is in the main, where there's no tower, no shop, no regen. He used the regen before, but was cancelled immediately.
Oh, he's morphing all of his destroyers. He wants to dive this.
Now, yeah. Looks good, man. 2 masonry upgrade only, not level 3. And these towers are super close together, even with the Scroll of the Beast. I told you it can be great, because there's no dispel. And with the area of effect, Orb of Annihilation, he breaks this now. The footmen, they can't really defend against this. The peasants, they will suffer so hard. And the Archmage, he can't even help his folk.
Finally, the MK is coming in, but only with the single breaker. He can steal the Scroll of the Beast once. Yeah, and then, what does he do? Yeah, I got a footy with Roar. Amazing. Almost all the towers are gone. A single one is left standing. Can he somehow keep this Expo alive? The AM is out of position once, forced into a TP, abandoned his expansion once, and suddenly it's dead.
Yeah.
You can't give this guy any openings. 120's capitalizing. Tier 3 is done. He has a bit of bank, but not enough. Certainly not enough time to go for Knights and Paladin and all that, as he has no more income down south.
That's true, and the peasants will die feeding the DK. I was talking about how low the levels are. Now look at this. Level 3.7, level almost 3 for the Lich. What can Romantic do now? It's a desperate attempt of his. Maybe diving the base, but they can't really afford it. Archmage is back to full HP, but his Water Elementals... Yeah, he was missing down there. And Blizzard was missing. Just like Infi showed to perfection how well you could do it against 120.
Good point. Now he's trying to creep up here. The destroyers are looking for them. Are looking for the human army. Splitting them up even. Sees it now in the middle. It's gonna be a little bit of dispel. Actually misses it. But the MK. Alright, he's finding a bit of experience here. This will be his level 2. That's not bad. But he needed level 3, level 4 MKs before to be able to hang with his opponent. And how is he supposed to get all that time?
This is Romantic's second biggest game of his career. Only WCA qualifier was bigger. Actually crazy, right? That the qualifier was bigger than this. But whatever. More breakers. He is on tier 3 now. I don't see a third hero. Griffin Aviary.
Yeah, he's stretched so thin. Yeah. If you're back to one
base
base only...
There's the Paladin, sorry.
Okay. Alright. The Destroyer is still giving perfect vision of this. I'm surprised 120 is giving him so much space. He could be looking for the offensive. He's now level 4 on the Death Knight, going for... I don't know, no aura level 2 this time it seems. Going for Death Pact instead. Of course on a big map. The level 2 aura is coming in very big. He might lose one of the destroyers here to an ensnare. Lucky for the human, finally finding a kill on the opponent.
Morlocks.
The huntsman helping him out here.
I think they heard from their colleagues how rude was 120 to them before. Woke them up early, so that was the revenge.
He's trying to bait another ensnare here. But it's not quite working. 120 getting pretty impatient here. Going in towards the main, losing his statues to towers. Again, like the multitasking is not perfect today. He could just be pressuring the opposing army. Obviously, he's much stronger. But he's stubbornly running in towards the main. And, well, at least destroying a few production buildings now.
Yep, the workshops are gone. No gyrocopters that were pretty damn good last time. Paladin and Mountain King creeping out. They want level 3 both, or at least level 2, 3. Fine. Pendant of Energy, very nice source of mana. Dark Ranger again, with a disable and one base versus one base. Human versus undead usually doesn't work. Romantic needs to hope for a big mistake of 120 that he can exploit.
120 keeps on creeping. Boots for the Lich, never bad. But this, alright, it's pretty, if we're being honest, it's very, very hard for the human. It's pretty unlikely that he gets back into this. But what needs to happen for him to get back is to be given this space to level up his second and third hero. And 120 is giving him that space. So, he's playing this pretty dangerously.
3-0 upgrades on Fiends and Destroyers now. And level 4 DK, as you said before, level 3 Lich. He sees, okay, there's a Griffin Aviary, but what can you really do? Dragonhawks, I will just web them. Romantic with no attempt at all to get his expo back up. What can he do? Is there a town portal on him? Yes, there is.
This will be level 3 MK here. This will be almost level 4 AM, and the Paladin is getting closer to 3 as well. And there is a few more creeps to take out. Can his main base hold on? First tower is dead, second one to follow. Destroyers have mana, but they're using it on the towers. 68 supply, however, it's a big army against only 49. Immediately comes the silence. He doesn't hit the Paladin though, but the Coil Nova hits him instead onto the MK. There is a heal, but it's only level 1 heal. He transfers the invul and keeps the second hero alive, who still isn't level 3. Seems like it's just a bit too much what 120 has to offer here. Now the peasant line exposed, Nova hitting him. Has a few more of those. 1 at the moment, soon to be 2. DK also, 3 coils available, and the human has to abandon his defense down. The shop he's gonna heal up. Is he gonna maybe continue creeping a bit more?
What can you do without income? There are a big amount of breakers to get rid of the fiends, but 3 destroyers, he has nothing against them. Not a single peasant is mining anymore. Last try to defeat this. We don't have Blizzard. Maybe he's going for a hero kill or something, but the Mountain King is low. Holy Light now, that lowers the nuke. Yeah, can't use Holy Light on the DK. Wants to force a Town Portal, but there's Coil Nova onto the Mountain King. More right clicks from the Fiends. Mountain King dies as there was silence on the Paladin, and this should be game for 1-0. He's driving him back, and Romantic calls for the GG. The winner bracket finale is the rematch of the grand finale of 2015. It's Infi versus this guy, 1-0.
And also a rematch of our group stage where Infi was able to win it 2-0. Is 1-0 going to fare better chances? We're going to find that out tomorrow, where we're going to be continuing with the final, the upper bracket final, which will still be best of 3. But yeah, for today we're done with the upper bracket. And it is Foggy and Romantic dropping down. Our next game, by the way, will be Hihi versus Romantic. It's going to be elimination time.
Maybe it's the other way around. But so Romantic has a little bit of break. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, we're not exactly sure who's going to be next. We're going to find that out for you. It's going to be either Foggy versus TH. That will be a rematch from last GCS. Or it's going to be Hihi versus Romantic. And Nyla versus Human. We have 2 more matches today, and you can see them right here. And after that, we are down to the 4 best players of the world.
To that, the losers of the upcoming matches will leave us, and we will leave you too, but not for long. A little break for us, a little break here in Shanghai, and then we'll be back. Foggy is fighting for survival, and he has to overcome the odds. He needs a little miracle. He needs a little support. So you know what time it is, boys. We'll be right back to Warcraft here from Shanghai.